Hey guys, it's me again. Just making my next video while I'm on my 10-minute break. Man, it's been an interesting day at work so far. I'm liking it. I've been at Safeway Albertsons for about 11 years, since April of 2015. I started back in Vancouver, Washington, and so it's been really good working here the last 11 years. I'm graduating from BYU Idaho on July 23rd of this year. So man, I'm just thrilled that I only need to pass my courses. So what to talk about in this next video? One thing I can talk about. So when it comes to Stranger Things, I think one thing I could talk about is what I like about each season. So starting with season 1, it has that really classic mystery suspense vibe to it. Basically where a kid goes missing and the town, especially the main characters, rally around to find him. Obviously they have no knowledge of the Upside Down, so that means they feel like that some people think they're going on a wild goose chase, or people think that Joyce Byers couldn't accept the fact that she's dead, or that Will is probably dead. And that's the funny thing, because in the season they have a funeral for him, only to find out later that he's been trapped in the Upside Down all along. So I also like the character groupings in season 1, where you have the kids and Eleven kind of finding out about the Upside Down. And then you have Joyce and Hopper, who are finding out about Eleven and her connection with Hawkins' lab. And you have Nancy and Jonathan, who are investigating Barb's disappearance and Will's disappearance, and they eventually find out about the Demogorgon. So eventually all three groups come together and they put the pieces together. So that was really well done in season 1. What I loved about season 2, even though season 2 to me is the worst, I love how even though Will is rescued, he's still having post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms from his time being trapped in the Upside Down, because he's having visions of what it looks like and the Mind Flayer, even though they didn't call it that until late in the season. And what's cool is that Dustin finds a creature that doesn't exist on Earth. And so he essentially thinks he's discovered a new species, and he has, but then it's later revealed that it was really just a baby demodog. Wow, I can't talk today. And then, just kind of like in season 1, you have Joyce and Hopper, who are helping Will get over his experience in the Upside Down at the lab, which is now run by I don't remember his first name, Dr. Owens, who is a much better person than Dr. Brenner ever was, because he cares about Will and he cares about all the people. He's not hiding some sinister agenda like Dr. Brenner was with child experimentation. He's trying to understand how the Upside Down is putting everything together. Now, Joyce eventually grows impatient because she feels like he's withholding information. And in a way he is, but he's not doing it out of evil intent. He's doing it because, as he points out to Jonathan and Nancy, if word gets out about what they're doing at the lab, what if the Soviet Union found out about it? Because this is during the Cold War. So what are you going to do? So if word leaks and the Russians find out about it, what'll happen? Well, I think seasons 3 and 4 basically answered that question. So, and I like how in this one also Steve, who had a redemption arc at the end of season 1, he assists Nancy in the trauma of finding out Barb is dead. And she feels guilty because she knew that Barb was just trying to help her not be with Steve at the party in season 1. But Nancy declined and stayed with Steve, alas. And then Barb was taken by the Demogorgon to the Upside Down. And so Nancy feels this tremendous guilt. Nancy feels this tremendous guilt that she is responsible. And compounding it is the fact that Barb's parents have hired a private investigator to search for Barb and find out what happened. But Nancy knows that they can spend their entire lives, as Nancy tearfully points out to Steve in like episode 3 or something, they're going to spend their, as she says, quote, they're going to spend their whole lives looking for her. It's destroying them. So she knows what happened, and she worries that they'll waste their entire lives looking for her, and they'll never find out about the lab, most likely. So she worries that she's withholding the truth. And so she and Jonathan team up to go to Murray, who's a conspiracy theorist in the show, and he tells them what they can do to overcome the barrier of, if you tell this to the authorities, are they really going to believe you, or are they going to think you're crazy? Sorry, I need to itch my nose. So what I don't like about season 2 is Eleven's hairstyle. I'm sorry, Eleven's hairstyle is so bad in that season. But I do like that Hopper is providing her with a home and food and shelter. I don't like how he keeps deceiving her by telling her that she can talk to Mike eventually, but it's been a year since season 1. How is it taking a year for him to make a lot of progress? So I feel like in reality he just intended to keep her there until the lab was non-existent, but how long is that going to take? So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I do think season 2 has one of the best finales of any season in the entire show. It probably ranks number two in my list of the best finales. I think, and it has the Chicago episode, which is so bad. So that's season 2. Season 3. Season 3 is my personal favorite. So what I love about season 3 of Stranger Things is that it's during the 4th of July weekend. I love the summertime vibes. I've heard that it's most colorful, and I agree with that assessment. I also like that Eleven kind of has more freedom to be with Mike, even though Hopper doesn't really want her going out in the open, because he's worried that if she's out in the open, then someone's going to notice her powers and report her to the authorities, and then who knows how long that legal case will take. So he's got a point, but come on, Hopper. She has to get out eventually. She can't just stay cooped up her whole life. So and Max kind of does that to Eleven. She forms a friendship with Eleven right after she's broken up with Mike, or right after Mike has been duped by Hopper to pretend that his grandmother's sick to be away from Eleven because Hopper's tired of it. And Joyce is noticing that her magnets are falling and something's up, and once again she and Hopper investigate, and they find out that the mayor has been assisting the Russians in building a lab, in obtaining land and building a lab underneath the Starcourt Mall where Steve and Robin are working. Dustin and Steve and Robin and Erica go to investigate the base, and they find it. And then the kids are once again finding out about Will's connection to the Upside Down. I gotta go in a couple of minutes. And then in season 4, season 4 is so good. It has the biggest revelation that I might talk more in my next video, but Mike is basically or in season 4 the group is in California, Hawkins, and Russia. So essentially 4 different groups, or 3 different groups. In Hawkins, a creature named Vecna is killing residents of the town, and Heckfire Club Eddie Munson leader Eddie Munson is being blamed as the prime suspect in the murders, according to what I read online, to quote something I read online when it first came out. And so Steve, Dustin, Robin, Max, and Lucas are trying to help him evade capture. I gotta get going, but I might continue this later. So I'll probably continue with season 4 and then finish with season 5 and talk about more stuff in my next video. Thank you. Okay.